Battlestar Galactica is an American science fiction franchise created by Glen A.Larson. The franchise began with the original television series in 1978 and was later followed by a short-run sequel series, a line of book adaptations, original novels, comic books, a board game, and video games. A reimagined version of Battlestar Galactica aired as a two-part, 3-hour miniseries developed by Ronald D. Moore and David Icke in 2003. That miniseries led to a weekly television series, which later aired up until 2009. A prequel series, Caprica, aired in 2010. A 2-hour pilot for a second spin-off prequel series, Blood and Chrome, aired in 2013, though this did not lead to a series as originally planned. All Battlestar Galactica productions share the premise that in a distant part of the universe, a human civilization has extended to a group of planets known as the 12 Colonies, to which they have migrated from their ancestral homeworld of Kobol. The Cylons offer peace to the humans, which proves to be a ruse. With the aid of a human named Balta, the Cylons carry out a massive attack on the 12 colonies and on the colonial fleet of starships that protect them. These attacks devastate the colonial fleet, lay waste to the colonies, and virtually destroy their populations. Scattered survivors flee into outer space aboard a ragtag array of available spaceships. Of the entire colonial battle fleet, only the Battlestar Galactica, a gigantic battleship and spacecraft carrier, appears to have survived the Cylon attack. Under the leadership of Commander Adama, the Galactica and the pilots of Viper fighters lead a fugitive fleet of survivors in search of the fabled 13th colony known as Earth. Original series Battlestar Galactica. Glen A.Larson, the creator and executive producer of Battlestar Galactica, claimed he had conceived of the Battlestar Galactica premise, which he originally called Adam's Arc, during the late 1960s. As James E. Ford detailed in Battlestar Galactica and Mormon Theology, a paper read at the Joint Conference of the American Culture and Popular Culture Associations on 17 April 1980. The series originally incorporated many themes from Mormon theology, such as marriage for time and eternity, a Council of 12, and a planet called Kobol, as Larson was a member of The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. However, he was unable to find financial backing for his TV series for a number of years. Battlestar Galactica was finally produced in the wake of the success of the 1977 film Star Wars. Initially, Larson envisioned Battlestar Galactica as a series of made-for-TV movies for the American Broadcasting Company. A shortened version of the 3-hour pilot, Saga of a Star World, was screened in Canadian theaters and in American, European and Australian theaters later on. Instead of 2 additional TV movies, ABC decided to commission a weekly TV series of 1-hour episodes. In 1979, at the 6th Annual People's Choice Awards, the TV series won in the category of Best New TV Drama Series. The initial episode of the TV series was broadcast on September 17, 1978. However, about 30 minutes before the end, that broadcast was interrupted by the announcement of the signing of the Egyptian-Israeli Camp David Accords. After the interruption, the episode picked back up where it left off. During the 8 months after the pilot's initial broadcast, 17 original episodes of the series were made, equivalent to a standard 24-episode TV season. Citing declining ratings and cost overruns, ABC cancelled Battlestar Galactica in April 1979. Its final episode, The Hand of God, was telecast on April 29, 1979. Galactica 1980. During the autumn of 1979, ABC executives met with Battlestar Galactica's creator Glen A.Larson to consider restarting the series. A new TV movie called Galactica 1980 was produced. Again, it was decided this new version of Battlestar Galactica would be made into a weekly TV series. Despite the early success of the premiere, this program failed to achieve the popularity of the original series, and it was cancelled after just 10 episodes. In this 1980 sequel series, the colonial fleet finds the Earth, and then it covertly protects it from the Cylons. This series was a quick failure due to its low budget, widely panned writing, and ill-chosen time slot. The TV series also had to adhere to strict content restrictions such as limiting the number of acts of violence and being required to shoehorn educational content into the script and dialogue. To cut costs, the show was set mostly on the contemporary Earth, to the great dismay of fans. Another factor for fan apathy was the nearly complete recasting of the original series. Lorne Greene reprised his role as Adama. Herb Jefferson, Jr. played Colonel Boomer in about half of the episodes, and Dirk Benedict as Starbuck for one episode. Richard Hatch was sent a script for Galactica 1980, but he turned it down since he was not sure what his part in the series would be now that all the characters had changed. Some TV syndication packages for Battlestar Galactica incorporate the episodes of this series. Cinema releases, besides a re-edited version of the pilot, released originally in Canada, Europe, parts of Latin America, and, following the broadcast of the series, in the US, 2 other Battlestar Galactica feature films were released in cinemas. Both Mission Galactica, the Cylon Attack and Conquest of the Earth were made up of various episodes of the original series and Galactica 1980 respectively. Attempted revivals. The original series maintained a cult fandom, which has supported efforts by Glen A.Larson, Richard Hatch, and Bryan Singer to revive the premise. Richard Hatch produced a demonstration video in 1998-99 which featured several actors from the original series combined with state-of-the-art special effects. This video, titled Battlestar Galactica: The Second Coming, was screened at some science fiction conventions, but it did not lead to a new series. In 1999, the producer of Wing Commander, Todd Moyer, and the producer of the original TV series, Glen A.Larson, announced plans to produce a motion picture based on the TV series. It would have featured Battlestar Pegasus. In 2000, the director and an executive producer of the X-Men movie, Bryan Singer and Tom DeSanto, began developing a Battlestar Galactica TV miniseries under the auspices of Studios USA for the Fox TV network, a continuation of the original series but set 25 years later. Singer and DeSanto's version included several members of the original cast reprising their original roles as well as newer characters being introduced. It was intended to be telecast as a backdoor pilot in May 2002, and pre-production commenced and sets had even been partially constructed with a view to filming starting in November 2001. However, production delays caused by the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks meant that Bryan Singer had to drop out, due to his commitment to direct the X-Men 2 movie. This caused the executives of Fox TV to lose interest in this project. 2003 Reimagining TV miniseries. Despite attempts to revive the series over the years, none came to fruition until it was reimagined in 2003 by Universal Television as Battlestar Galactica, a 3-hour miniseries commissioned by the Sci-Fi Channel. Screenwriter Ronald D. Moore and producer David Icke were the creative forces behind it. Academy Award-nominated actor Edward James Olmos was cast in the role of Commander Adama, while two-time Academy Award nominee Mary McDonnell was cast as President Laura Roslin. Starbuck and Boomer were now female characters, portrayed by Katie Sackhoff and Grace Park respectively. Other cast members included Jamie Bamber, James Callis, and Tricia Helfer as a Cylon known as Number 6. The miniseries was a ratings success for the Sci-Fi Channel, and they commissioned a new weekly Battlestar Galactica series to follow. Television series. The new TV series was co-funded by the UK's Sky Television, and premiered first in the United Kingdom on the Sky One satellite channel in October 2004. The series was then broadcast in North America on the Sci-Fi Channel in January 2005. Continuing where the 2003 miniseries left off, the main cast all returned to reprise their roles. Several new characters were introduced, and Richard Hatch, who played Captain Apollo in the 1970s Battlestar Galactica TV series, also appeared in several episodes as Tom Zarek, a former political terrorist who later becomes part of the new colonial government. An edited version of the pilot miniseries was aired on NBC on January 9, 2005, 5 days before the sci-fi series premiere. NBC also aired 3 selected first-season episodes to promote the show in advance of the second season premiere in July 2005. The series ultimately ran for 4 seasons between 2004 and 2009. The second season was split into 2 halves, screened several months apart. Due to production delays caused by the 2007-2008 Writers Guild strike, the 4th season was also split into 2 parts, with a 7-month hiatus in between. The series has won widespread critical acclaim among many mainstream non-SF genre publications. Time and New York Newsday named it the best show on television in 2005. Other publications such as The New York Times, The New Yorker, National Review and Rolling Stone magazine also gave the show positive reviews. Time magazine named it one of the 100 best TV shows of all time. Razor. Battlestar Galactica. Razor is a 2007 television movie produced and broadcast in the gap between seasons 3 and 4 of the reimagined series. Razor is also technically the first 2 episodes of season 4, though it chronicles events on Battlestar Pegasus in 2 time periods, both of which are in the past. With respect to the season 4 continuity, the present-day framing scenes are set during Lee Adama's command of the Pegasus in the latter half of season 2, while flashback scenes depict Helena Kane's command in the period between the Cylon attack and the reunion with the Galactica in the second season. It aired in the United States and Canada on November 24, 2007, and in the UK and Ireland on December 18, 2007. An expanded version of the movie was released on DVD on December 4, 2007. Webisodes. The first set of webisodes were a series of shorts produced in 2006 to promote the 3rd season of the reimagined show, made as an optional extra to season 3. The webisodes filled in some of the events between the 2nd and 3rd seasons and featured some of the main cast, though did not reveal what would happen in the beginning of season 3, nor was viewing them essential to follow the story of the 3rd season. Each of the 10 webisodes was approximately 3 minutes long, and they were released twice a week leading up to the US season 3 premiere in 2006. The Razor flashbacks were a series of 7 webisodes produced in 2007, set some 40 years earlier during William Adama's fighter pilot days during the later stages of the First Cylon War. They were released on the internet as webisodes, leading up to Razor's release. They are now available on the DVD and Blu-ray releases of Battlestar Galactica, Razor, and some are inserted into both the broadcast and extended cuts of the movie on DVD and Blu-ray. The installments that did not make the final cut include 1, 2, and the latter half of 7. In May 2008, a set of 10 webisodes were announced to be in the works, which were released during the 7-month hiatus between episodes 10 and 11 of season 4. Titled The Face of the Enemy, the web series premiered on December 12, 2008 on sci-fi.com. Again, viewing of the webisodes was optional prior to the second half of season 4. The plan in August 2008 The Sci-Fi Channel officially announced the production of a 2-hour TV movie which was planned to air after the final episode of the series in 2009. The movie began production on September 8, 2008. The movie premiered exclusively on DVD, Blu-ray and digital download on October 27, 2009 and aired on January 10, 2010, on Sci-Fi. Written by Jane Espenson and directed by Edward James Olmos. The planned storyline begins before the attack on the 12 colonies and shows events primarily from the perspective of two Cylons, Cavil and Anders. Edward James Olmos reprised his role as Adama, and 10 of the 11 actors who played Cylons appeared, including Michael Trucco, Aaron Douglas, Dean Stockwell, Tricia Helfer, Grace Park, Rick Worthy, Matthew Bennett, Callum Keith Rennie, Michael Hogan and Rekha Sharma. The only Cylon actor not present was Lucy Lawless. On July 24, 2009, Edward James Olmos stated that the plan will not be the last movie based on the reimagined series. Caprica. Caprica is a prequel television series to the reimagined Battlestar Galactica. It premiered on Sci-Fi on January 22, 2010, and was described as television's first science fiction family saga. It was originally a 2-hour backdoor pilot for a possible weekly television series, but on December 2, 2008, Sci-Fi gave the go-ahead to expand the project into a full 20-episode series. Caprica is set on the titular planet, 58 years before the events of Battlestar Galactica. The show revolves around two families, the Adamas and the Greystones, and the creation of the Cylons. The pilot was directed by Jeffrey Reiner and starred Eric Stoltz, S.I. Morales, Paula Malcolmson, Alessandra Torresani, and Polly Walker. The pilot was released on DVD on April 21, 2009 and the series was broadcast in January 2010. On October 27, 2010, Sci-Fi cancelled Caprica due to low ratings. The final 5 episodes were aired in the US on January 4, 2011, though they had aired a couple of months earlier on the Canadian network Space. The entire series was released on DVD in 2011. Blood and Chrome. Battlestar Galactica. Blood and Chrome was to be an upcoming spin-off series from the reimagined Battlestar Galactica series. Sci-Fi approached showrunner Ronald D. Moore to produce another spin-off set in the reimagined Battlestar Galactica universe, which was to begin as a 2-hour pilot focused on William Husker Adama during the First Cylon War. Sci-Fi decided against moving forward with the Blood and Chrome TV series, but on November 5, 2012 it was announced that a 10-part web series would begin on November 9, 2012 and be released over 4 weeks via machinima.com. The web series was also aired as a 2-hour movie on Sci-Fi on February 10, 2013, and was released on DVD shortly afterwards. Feature film. Creator Glen A.Larson entered negotiations with Universal Pictures for a film adaptation of the 1978 series in February 2009. Bryan Singer signed on to direct the reboot the following August, but was obligated to direct Jack the Giant Slayer. In October 2011, John Orloff was hired to write the script. I have wanted to write this movie since I was 12 years old, and built a Galactica model from scratch out of balsa wood, cardboard, old model parts and LEDs, Orloff told Deadline.com. I love BSG, and I would pass on the job rather than frack it up. By August 2012 the script was being rewritten, with Singer explaining that it will exist, I think, quite well between the Glen A.Larson and Ron Moore universes. On April 7, 2014, the studio hired Jack Paglen to write the script for the film. Comic books. A series of comic book publishers have adapted Battlestar Galactica since its inception. Marvel Comics published a 23-issue comic book series based upon the show between 1978 and 1981. Walt Simonson, who later wrote and drew Thor and had a long stint on Marvel's Star Wars comic, was the artist for the series at its conclusion. Other comics have since been published by Maximum Press, Grand Dreams, Look-In Magazine, Realm Press and, currently, Dynamite Comics. Of all these series, only those by Marvel, Grand Dreams, and Look-In actually completed their storylines and brought the story to a conclusion. All the other series were cancelled at various points during their runs, with no resolutions. Both the Grand Dreams and Look-In comic strips take place early in the series. The other comic series based on the 1978 series have been set after the final episode of the series and ignored Galactica 1980. The Maximum Press series began with the discovery of a completely unpopulated Earth some 15 years after the TV show. The look and the feel of the comics was changed considerably from the series, to give the stories a more 90s feel. The Realm Press series picked up immediately after the original series' final episode, in an attempt to present what they called Season 2 of the original show. Dynamite Entertainment was the last company to publish comic books featuring both the classic and reimagined Battlestar Galactica series. They also released a 4-issue Galactica 1980 comic miniseries written by Mark Guggenheim. The limited miniseries was a reimagining of the original series, but at the end featured a second, smaller Battlestar also named Galactica but strongly resembling the ship seen in the reimagined Sci-Fi Channel series.